am I really doing this?
If you've been in the anime community long enough, you'll know about early 2000s and 2010 anime adaptations where anything that was birthed from a manga, webtoon, or light novel has a bad adaptation or pacing hell, or they just get hit with filler after filler. The most notable case being Bleach, where quite literally 50% of the episodes are filler, and something that suffers from pacing hell is One Piece, where to this day it still suffers. Where dress, not dress, yeah, Dress Rosa was an arc that not only in the manga went on for too long and people didn't like it, but also in the anime it went on for way too long and people didn't like it. Like the arc itself is good, it's just far too long. And for just a bad adaptation, Tokyo Ghoul is one of those where season one does well. It still cuts out some things, but for the most part, it's a faithful adaptation. But at the end of season one, it's Kaneki versus Jason, and what it kind of implies is Kaneki kills Jason, where that's not the case. Kaneki only eats his Kagune and tells him, "You're not worth me bloodying my hands," and he walks away. And he's killed by the white hair inspect the white haired kid inspector with all the stitches on him. And once you get to season two, it's just completely going off the rails. It's hitting that Soul Eater level, but it still merges back into the manga somewhat. Where in season two, we don't even get the Kaneki versus, I believe his name was Arima. I don't think that's it though. But the legendary white hair inspector, I'm pretty sure his name was Arima. Where that fight shows how Kaneki becomes Heisei and stuff like that, and that would lead into Tokyo Ghoul Re. We just completely lose out on that, and there's just a lot of anime that suffer from this. And if you were a light novel before, I think if you were an anime that got adapted from a light novel from right before, I think 2014, where that's when animation studios and higher ups at companies started saying, yeah, these light novels could really get some adaptations. Bento is one where it's it's from a light novel, and it's all about purely, oh, these guys go to a supermarket and they want to buy discounted bento boxes or food, and they have like an all out fight at the end, like at the end of the night and somewhat in the middle of the day, and whoever wins is the one that's able to choose which bento they get first. That's how the story is pretty much structured, and it was a really good anime. It was, I believe, animated by Mappa when when it first came out. So I really want to see a remake or a continuation of that, but I could talk about that in a different video. But a lot of animes from the early 2000s suffer from this, where they just have horrible adaptations and get bad pacing. Some people have told me Gantz is one where it's just bad pacing throughout the entirety. And that's why I'm a big advocate of, we need to be able to get like some of these animes redone, or at least a continuation where, oh, you guys caught up way too fast to the manga, and now you either just stop doing the show entirely, or you just go your own separate route. Blue Exorcist is one that also suffered from this, being past episode 12. It's all just filler. It's all filler because I believe the anime had caught up to the manga, and the Kyoto arc was either still in progress or it hadn't even made it to the Kyoto arc. And this was really just a main problem in early 2000s to 2010s anime, where executives at Shonen or wherever, they would just look at a manga and say, yeah, that manga's doing really good, or that light novel's doing really good. Let's make an anime for it. And most people would just look, be like, but it only has 50 chapters. How are you going to do that? You're adapting 3 chapters per episode. And just add some filler in between. Who cares? That's how we ended up with the Bound arc. No, no one should ever have to suffer through the Bound arc ever again. But a lot of anime from that time just did not get the proper justice where they should have waited much longer before actually shooting out an anime adaptation. Boruto was Boruto. I don't care for the show itself, but is also uh is also an anime that suffers from this in more recent time being, oh, Boruto quite literally was only the movie, and then the manga jumps off from where the movie left off after I think the tuning exams, and quite literally the anime said, well, the Boruto manga only has 5 chapters. Make an anime of it. Sir, it only has 5 chapters. Put 13, 24 episodes of filler, and Boruto sucks. I hate the show. It ruins Naruto entirely. But that's really about it. I'm done.